I had a dream the other night about Trump supporters. And the idea is that when they became part of the MAGA movement, it was like they took a golden septum and inserted it into their nose. Now, I actually sculpted this nose myself. Most of my experience with sculpting is from the purple clay from Cranium, but I think I still did a pretty good job. So now that Trump is president and his actions are getting more and more absurd, these people, these Trump supporters, it's like they're being dragged along by that septum in their nose. And a lot of them may want to actually take it out by now, but it's too painful. You can't just rip the septum piercing out. So now, when anything happens, it's like, the habeas corpus section of the Constitution has seemingly been erased from the White House website. These people get dragged along and they have to say something like, oh, that was probably just a mistake. Or you hear in the news that anything related to African American history or slavery is just being erased from the White House or like whitewashed. And these people go like, oh, well, that's just Trump fighting against wokeness. Or, these people, they thought Trump was going to be for the people, was going to make groceries cheaper and, make our lives easier. But then he passes a bill that cuts billions of dollars of taxes for like ultra rich billionaires. People go like, oh, well, that's probably just going to help the economy. Okay, so a lot of these people probably want to take the septum piercing out. And we want to take it out too. We're like, can't you see how racist he is? Can't you see how awful he is? Like, take that fucking septum piercing out of your nose. But of course, that's too painful. You can't just rip out a piercing. So my question is, how do we instead grip that golden septum piercing by the side and pull sideways? Just pull it out. How do we do this? Bring these people back into the fold of reasonable care for fellow humanity. How do we get out of this like meme world so many of us are stuck in? He created this powerful story about who he is, how he's going to drain the swamp, and he's the outsider, and he's the one who's against the corruption. He's the Christ-like figure who's going to save us. How do we? What's the next story? What's the story we can create that will allow these folks to just pull that septum piercing out, right? So they can enter a new story. What's that new story?